Good day, my friends. How are you all doing? This is a process, Mitchell says. What process? Are you talking about the process of purging? Oh, the Lord is speaking to me already, and I have no idea what he's trying to say. But he's got my cat howling in there, and I don't have any idea what's going on. I haven't said a word yet, so I can't imagine what the Lord is trying to tell me. It's not the kitty, it's the Lord. I'm telling you, it's God speaking. I don't know what he's trying to tell me because I haven't even started the live stream yet. So very strange for him to be screaming right now when I haven't said anything yet. Being like Jesus Christ fully. That is our job. Hello, pretty Marie. I'm not sure where you are and what the weather's like there, but it's certainly nice here. I just went for this, and I as much as I look forward to my live stream, I wanted to keep on walking. I just wanted to stay out there. Brenda Lee Cohen. So you're probably someone else. You had another name or something because I don't recognize that name, and you're saying, hello, Mr. Buzz and friends. You've probably been here before. But they changed your name. Marky Benunce, praise God. That's a new name for sure. But again, is it a changed name or who knows? Ronald Marcano. No, I don't think you're a regular. I think you're new. Welcome. Trying to get my head around who's new and who's just got a different name now because they changed everybody's handles. Well, Kamala, that's what I've been telling everybody. It's a matter of wanting to quit. So I was fine. 3 layers in a wig. Right on. Hello, Makaran. Been following you a while. Okay. Well, I don't recognize your name, but welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Brenda Lee, that's my name. Okay. I don't know if we've met before, Brenda Lee, but if we haven't, howdy. Nice to meet you. Iron Lion, greetings, Brother Buzz. Greetings to you. I had an awesome. Oh, you're Rose of Sharon again. Look at that. You were something else yesterday and the day before. Now you're Rose of Sharon. Perfect. That's how I met you. So it's nice that you're back to your original name. Sylvia Sanchez. Hello. I don't recognize that name either. Bees Churger. I definitely know who you are. Feeling groovy. Right on. This is totally awesome that some people are getting their old names back. Papa Bravo. I definitely know you. Kirk L57. I know him. You were old school before. Ace Hilm is here. I know you. Danny 99111. I don't know who you are. You might be new. Not sure. Hello. Good day to you. Vanessa Martin, still working with Purging, busy life, school, full-time job mother. Going so good. Excellent. Daniel Kirk, we know who you are. The Crawfo Joe, I think I know who you are. Stereo Heavens, know who you are for sure. Kakaider, an old regular. Tiffany's here. And Buke, Melanie Leon. I know pretty much everybody that's here. Nessa 384, that's a new name. I don't think I know you. Welcome. Hello from Brazil, she says. Or he says, Nessa. Let's see if you're male or female. Don't know. It's a picture of a sheep. I thought it was a picture of you. Till I brought it up. No, don't know. And Danny T. Okay, Danny T. I do remember you. And N Buke is actually Nick B. Okay. Nick B. I'll try and remember that. It's a real challenge to keep all this straight. And then we got Mandius here. Yes, I wish you knew how to get it back too, although I do know who you are, so I can keep you straight. Jason be fishing. Used to be Jason Gone fishing, I think. Now he's Jason B fishing. Sounds like you moved to Newfoundland. I be fishing, bye. Yeah, it did that to everybody. Pam TJ, who got her capital letters back. Changes to Luigi Queen. Joe, why did the handle I don't know. That's your name used to show up as John Crawford. I remember that. They did that to everybody. I have no idea what that's about. That's YouTube did that. Just to like I say it reminds me of the Tower of Babel. They want to confuse everybody's communication. Because now I don't know who half the people are. I just got used to what everybody's name was and who everybody was. They changed them just like that. So yes, the purge. God, how did you become your only source of strength? I don't know what you mean. How did I get through that moment before breakthrough? I don't quite know what you mean by that part. How did you pray to God? Well, the way I pray to God all the time, I talked about it in a video today. I pray two ways, either in the shower or just, well, I mean, even in this chair sometimes, but usually in the shower or walking down the street. And the third part, how did God become your only source of strength? Well, I was in isolation for 10 years. That's all I had. I had my cats and I had God. So because he's training you in those situations, he's willing to give you strength. He's willing to get you through it because he's the one that isolated you. So I hope that answers what you're asking. I'm a little confused on what the question means. The name Steelers strike again. Hello, Audrey. Good evening to you. Was my real name maybe for security? No, they did it to everybody. They just changed something and it changed back to your other name. They did it to everybody. No one changed their name. YouTube changed everybody's name. Okay, it's just something just happened. It's everybody. It's not just one person. It's everyone. Pastor I watched says God is allowing the demons to become super predators. Could be part of his judgment. I wouldn't necessarily say that guy's wrong. I don't know for sure. But I can tell you this, there's a lot more demonic possession going on now than there was in the past. It's really prevalent now. And the kind that you can see, I think a lot of it used to be subtle, and it's not so subtle anymore. Like I'll meet people now in a video call, and they'll look at me and they'll be like making these weird faces and stuff, and I'm like, this person's demon possessed. And sure enough, Turns out they are totally, and I can see it as soon as I meet up with them. Right? Hi, Dina. I think judgment is happening. Yeah, it could be God's judgment. I think that is what's happening. It's bold and in your face. Yeah, it is. Says my name. Daniel, because you missed 2 appointments. I got the next week is booked. I might have a spot for you, but I can't promise I do. There's a lot of people, dude. There's a lot of people. I gave you 2 appointments already, and you missed both of them. So the next one, if we do a third one, you got to make the third one for sure. Right? I got people looking for spots left, right, and center. So the spots are very precious. Hello, Sarah. We know you are, Sarah. And there's only so much we can do because you're not able to email us and contact us in a different way. So we can talk to you in the chat, but that's really all we can do. We can't help you any other way. It's very fascinating. It's fascinating and more frightening. More frightening. Spouse and children, grandchildren, family and friends, John and Ferguson, spouse and children. Who are those people, Veronica, Carly? We have no idea who they are or what the problem is. We don't just pray randomly for people without knowing what's going on or anything. We don't do that. Living in darkness will be revealed in light. Yep. Self. Mr. Buzz is a busy bee. That is true. And it reminds me of what Shofar Girl calls me. She calls me Mr. Buzzing Bee. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was two different ones. So I'll give you another appointment, no problem. I don't know when it'll be right yet. Somebody's liable to cancel or something, so I'll keep you in mind. If somebody cancels, I'll offer you that spot. And I think, am I correct? Let me get this straight here. Are you UK? Are you GMT? I can't remember your time zone. I could be confusing you with someone else. These people in time zones, it's really hard to keep everybody straight. Oh boy. Destiny in Christ Jesus. What is a purge? Never heard the word purge? That's a pretty common word. Purge means to expel, to get rid of. So a purge in the context we're talking about is taking all the items out of your house that you need to get rid of. The old, okay? Getting rid of the old. Now, I went over the top crazy with it. I actually got rid of every last thing. Well, I'm just about there. Still a few things left, but not very much. I literally got rid of every last thing I owned, except for a couple now. That I'm just trying to find them. They're scattered around the house, a big house. So I got a few items around the house to still get rid of. Not very much. Some things I'm just going to do without. I don't need them. I didn't need them in the first place. And others I replaced with brand new, like even down to my carrot peeler, my potato masher, you name it. A new coffee cup, new glasses, new everything, all new clothes, new sheets, new pillowcases, new blankets. You name it. You name it. It's new. I got rid of it. Or you name it and I just got rid of it and didn't replace it at all because I didn't need it. I purged my fruit of the looms. My fruit of the looms went too. Everything did. And Some people might say, well, why are you doing that? Why get rid of old things that are still good? Well, in my case, the old things weren't still good. All right. That's not appropriate. So you need all new Victoria's Secret. Okay. If that's where you shop. Nope. My items were pretty decrepit anyway, most of them. Okay. I didn't really get rid of good stuff. Well, actually, the first bunch of stuff that I got rid of was, but no, because especially my clothes, I wore those clothes doing meth. The Lord wanted me to get rid of them because I sweated into them while I was on methamphetamine. That's the whole reason to get rid of them. They need to be burned, not given to someone else. They need to be burned. Okay. Same with my sheets and blankets, burned. But at least they're in landfill. I guess where they're going to go. But nope, not giving none of that to the poor. That would give them my troubles. This stuff has a bad energy about it. It's got to go. Didn't need to be passed on to someone else. Exactly. Exactly. And the books I had, I got a big box of books about shamanism and psychedelics and things that no one should be reading about. In the garbage. In the garbage. Books about rock and roll. I don't like to anymore. I mean, sometimes you got to, if you want to have anything at all, you can't afford new stuff sometimes. Depends on your situation. But I honestly believe that getting used stuff is not good. It's not good. You're getting the last person's. It's like moving into a house that 20 different families have lived in, and let's say 3 of them had some severe violence take place while they were living there in the house. That never goes away. That honestly never goes away. There's something in the spirit realm that it lingers and stays. So you can get into a house where a murder took place or something, and that never goes away. That is always in that house, right? That's the reason a lot of people will build a new house, because they don't want someone else's old energy, right? They don't want the energy from whatever took place. If you can, yeah. If a person can build a new house, for sure. That's the only way to get one. There's no, bad vibes in it. In other instances, it is used in reference to physical substances or political and religious entities. Not quite sure what you're saying, but hello, Elysian Blueprint. That's an interesting handle for sure. Elysian Blueprint. That's fentanyl. Okay, so you're talking a lot about fentanyl on your channel there. Is that because if you don't mind me asking, are you an ex-fentanyl addict that's just recovering, or what's the deal there, if you don't mind me asking? Yes, I'm sure they did enjoy those. They were real nice people. All of them were. Right on, Kirk. That's the way to do it. Well, I'm a carpenter, so I would be involved in the building of any house that I built. I'm not a qualified carpenter, but I did carpentry for years for a living. So, and I've done it on my own too for people. I've done a fair bit. I don't have papers, but I know how to do quite a bit of stuff. I'm actually a better finish carpenter than I am a framer, but I can frame too. Oh, it's Mason. Living out of my car, working for God. Wow. So yes, I know about your fentanyl situation. Yeah, that's same as me. I've built houses with other people. My problem is heights. I have a bad problem with heights. So you get me on staging, I'm no good. I got to stay on the ground. That's the only problem I have. I can do reasonable heights with a big platform underneath me. I mean, I need a big wide thing. I can't stand on little planks like people stand on. No, 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 no. Not for me. Cheers to buy a piece of land with some acreage, build a nice small home, the wraparound veranda. Very nice. Can build something. Yeah. It is a very useful thing to know how to build stuff. Still working on my purge. Excellent. Praying for you all and tuning in. Please know you're all loved and appreciated and prayed for. Praying for more days like yesterday for you in the future. My ex was a narcissist, which tried to destiny swap me. And yeah, that's crazy stuff. Working on the night moves, trying to make some front page driving news. I do love me some Bob Seger, I gotta say. One of the hardest working musicians ever to walk the planet. I might even say the hardest working musician ever. Bob Seger paid his dues. That's something that really makes the music. That's one thing I'll say I did. I paid my dues as a musician. I definitely did. And that's how you can hear that in a musician's music if they paid their dues. Bob Seger, gee, he really did. He really did. Gotta love that guy. He's the real thing. How I get into carpentry is a funny story. Well, okay, so my father had to put siding on his house and had no one to help him. That's the first time I did carpentry. And I learned really quick. But I learned from my father, and he didn't have a clue what he was doing, so that wasn't good. So then, because I had this experience, this is a funny story. You'll like this, actually. Because I had this experience with my father, I needed work. I just moved to the country where my parents were. I moved up there. Well, how old was I? I was probably 22 years old, pretty young. So I moved up there, and I needed work. So my mother had a carpenter that came to her house to do work for her. And they got talking, and he needed someone to do labor for him. She's like, my son, he helped his father put the siding on the house. He's like, oh, okay. And he looked at the siding, and it was done well and everything. Okay, I'll give him a chance. So I was told to show up at this job site. So I did. Actually, I got picked up by one of his employees and everything. So drove me there and got to know these two guys in the truck. And so we get to this job site, and it's a Cape Cod house they're building, okay? And it's high. It's like, they don't even think to ask me how I feel about heights. They don't even think to ask me about it. So, oh no, I could read a tape measure good, and I was all good. Had no problem swinging a hammer. Had no problem doing a bunch of stuff. But I had a problem with heights. No one even asked me. So here I am. It turns out they're doing the roof this day, okay? They're on the roof. They're starting to shingle the roof. I'm like, I look up, and I look way up. Reminds me of the Friendly Giant. Look up, look way up. Oh, yeah, it was way up, all right. It was a Cape Cod house. Big dormers on it. It was huge. It was a mansion. I looked up, and I'm like, oh. And I don't know, it's like what was it, an 812? Maybe an 812 pitch? 912? Might have been a 912, the main part. I'm like, oh, boy. I can't say nothing. It's first day. I don't want to tell them I'm scared of heights and tell me to go home. I need the job. So I go up. And I'm just shaking, hyperventilating, okay? Not good to go up on a roof when you're scared of heights. You're a danger to everybody else. You shouldn't be up there, okay? You should not be up there if you're scared of heights. So I kept my cool for as long as I could. I was really slow shingling because I was so terrified being up there. Then I made the mistake of looking down. They always say, don't look down. That's right. Don't look down. Don't look down. I did. And instantly, I just tossed the hammer away and face planted myself on the roof and could not move anymore. Okay. So the boss looks over and sees me, and I got my fingers in the shingles, gripping them, and I'm just face down, and I couldn't move. And he goes, "Are you scared?" And I'm near in tears at this point. I'm like, "Get me off this roof now!" So they had to pry me off. They'd pry my hands off the shingles to make me let go, and two of them had to get me onto the ladder. I was near in tears the whole time. I was just freaking out. I don't know how high it was. It was high. It was a big mansion, and it was a 2.5 story or something. It was like really high. It took them about 20 minutes to get me on that ladder and get me down. The boss was super mad. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were scared? That's dangerous." He's like, "Do you know how much danger you put us in getting you on that ladder?" Because I was a wreck. Man, I'm like, so I just felt so bad. I'm like, "I guess you want me to go home." He goes, "Can you cut?" It's like, "What do you mean, can I cut? Can you run a miter saw?" "Yeah, I'm real good with a miter saw. I did all the cutting at my parents' place for the siding." "You're the cutter. You're on the ground from now on." I'm like, "You're not going to fire me?" He's like, "Nope. Need a good cutter. You're the cutter. You stay on the ground. Never get on a roof again for me." He's like, "Never, ever get on my roof again." I'm like, "You don't have to tell me twice." So that was how I get into carpentry. Going up on a big old high roof and freeze. I'm telling you, when you're scared of heights, man, you don't want to go up high. If you're scared, stay on the ground. You're putting everyone else in danger. You're putting everyone else in danger. Never do that. So then I worked for him for several years. That job worked out for me. Actually, I worked for him for quite a while. But I was the ground guy. I stayed on the ground. Him and his other guy went up on the scaffolding, and I cut everything they ever needed. So I got really good with a miter saw. I got really good with a miter saw and a jigsaw and a skill saw and whatever. I could cut really well. Funny, man, we laughed about that for years afterwards. He used to tell everybody about it. He's like, "Don't let this guy get on your roof." He's good with the cutting, but don't let him get on your roof. No. Oh, mine too. Miter saws they are totally awesome. Got a really nice one here. The guy that owns the house, he bought one when because I renovated this house. I did most of the work here. Did a whole bunch of work here. So he bought me a nice miter saw to use. It's out in the shop. It's really nice. Sliding compound one. Very nice. So I really like carpenter work. I mean, anybody who's a musician is likely interested in something like carpentry too, because it's very creative, right? It's if you're a creative person, carpentry is really fun. Really fun. But heights, ooh, ooh. Don't like them. Don't like them at all. Tired to do a free top obstacle course. Tried to do a free top obstacle course a few years ago. Stuck in a net. Oh, yeah, that would suck. That would suck. Job 38:14. Let's see what that is. 38. The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment. That's an interesting piece of scripture. Might need more context to know what it's saying. Yes, you have to be able to do some math for sure. Yep. Especially if you get into like framing rafters and stuff. Like you take a framing square, right? and you're making your bird's mouth on your rafters and stuff like that. I even forget how to do it. It's been so long. You need to be able to do some math for sure. Yes. Right? If you got a 612 pitch or an 812 pitch or whatever, you got to know how to take your framing square and lay it on the boards and cut your bird's mouth and cut the angle on the ends of them. It's math. It's all math to do that. All right, Daniel. See you later, buddy. No worries, Diane. I hope that helps you out. All good. You are very, very welcome. Even the measurements that are used to build houses go against the Lord. Not sure what you mean by that. Measure twice and cut once is totally true. Totally true. That is my specialty. Is being an accurate cutter. That's why I'm a good finish carpenter. Because with finish carpentry, you want everything to the 32nd of an inch, maybe even the 64th. Right? You don't want any. There's no room for error. Everything's got to be cut exact. You got to have good eyeball for stuff. You got to know exactly where to sink that blade into the piece of wood. I don't know what you mean goes against the Lord, though, Nick. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Diane, you don't have to worry about it. It's okay. It's my pleasure to help you. It's all good. Don't worry. It's all good. We have templates here for all angles and pitches. Templates make it easy. Definitely. But I worked with two old school traditional carpenters who did things the old fashioned way. And one of them was really, really good with hand tools. Actually, both of them were. I should say both of them were really good with hand tools. Okay, so one of them, I went to this job site with him one time, and on the porch, there was these big pillars holding up the roof over the porch. And the pillars had these wild, they were like spindles, and they had these fancy shapes and everything. And there's a rotten piece in it, and it was all fancy and stuff. And I'm like, what are you going to do with that? He's like, well, I'm going to take this piece of 6x6 and I'm going to cut the rotten piece out and I'm going to make another piece exactly like it and put in there. And I looked at him and I said, how are you going to do that? He goes, you'll see. And he took a belt sander and he just all around and made the angles on it and everything and made all the fancy stuff with a belt sander. I was like, whoa, you should have seen him do this. It was just amazing. Right? I mean, he made a fancy piece of stuff. It was about yay long and it had angles and slopes and all this stuff. No problem. He made it with a belt sander. Whoa. So these guys I worked with were really good carpenters. They were excellent. Yeah, old school stuff, man. We get hired for these old houses because the stuff, like they wanted replicas of the old stuff that was rotten. They wanted someone to make new stuff that looked exactly like it. So they would hire this guy that I work for all the time for that. Some of the stuff he made, oh, wow. Wow. Really, really loved working for him. Had a lot of fun doing that for years. And it's something I learned, like something I can do now. So very useful. Carpentry is a great skill to have. It'll always come in handy. Oh, me too. And I'm not an expert craftsman like that, but they did teach me a lot. I did learn quite a bit. But these guys were Phew, they were pros. They were total pros. And both of them had school, but they also had learning from old guys, right? Learning from these older carpenters who did it for 50, 60 years, who really knew the old school ways, and they learned their ways. So, Jesus and the other two prophets on the mountain. Yeah, well, Jesus was a carpenter. He was a builder. Try to get into a trade like carpentry, but I feel fool when it comes to maths and the sort. Well, I think in modern carpentry, I think there's a lot less ciphering, as they used to say, on the Beverly Hillbillies. I don't think you have to do a whole lot of ciphering anymore. I think things are pretty much automated now and figured out for you to a point. I don't think you have to really. You're not going to learn old school carpentry now. If you go to school for it, you're not going to learn the old school ways. There's going to be computers involved, right? Computers are going to tell you stuff. But truth be told, a framing square, okay, you know what a framing square is? It's shaped like a big L sort of thing. That framing square can do any bit of math you could ever imagine. If you know how to use it right, the framing square is a calculator. It's literally a calculator. There's almost nothing you can't do with it. But it's complex. It's very complicated. Yep. That old school carpentry, yeah, very generic. I'm sure it is. Old school carpentry is, I just love to watch an old guy like 70, 80 years old who knows what he's doing build something, watch the way he does it. Fascinating. Fascinating. So, okay, my Aunt Diane being here is reminding me of something I want to talk about, the purge. So, I am purging because the Lord instructed me to purge. Out with the old, in with the new, forget the past, get rid of all the things that remind you of the past. That's a big part of why we do this. Okay. Once you get rid of this old stuff, you're not going to be reminded of the old days. It's gone. Every time you see that stuff that comes from the past, it will remind you. So, here's the other main reason for purging. Some of you might have, like my aunt, might have lost a spouse or a child or whatever. You know, someone in your family, whatever it is. And we want to hang on to items that belong to them and pictures of them, maybe even their clothes, maybe even their jewelry. Some people want to wear that jewelry that person had that's gone now. This person's dead, but they want to wear the jewelry or even wear the clothes of that person. Some people do this. I totally recommend you do not do this. I recommend you do not do this. I was talking to my aunt a little while ago, and she was talking about getting rid of a picture, a portrait of her with her spouse, who's now gone. And how freeing it was. Okay? How it breaks the chains and releases you from something. To let go of it. Okay? It's like an exercise in letting go. I can't recommend this enough. My aunt's in the chat right now. She could tell you. Diana, if you don't mind, type something to explain what I'm saying, because I'm using you as an example. You told me how good it felt to purge today, especially things like that. So if you don't mind, just let everybody know what I'm saying here. There you go. There you go, JBC7. There she says, purge for full peace and delicate. I'm not sure what that means, but I felt such a prince of God over me. I think there's some typos there. Such peace, maybe. Everybody gets the point anyway. No, this is a $3 coffee. I'm never buying another $9 coffee. That will never happen. The furniture I have was made by my dad and is unique. From the past, but not my furniture. Okay, so no, I understand keeping furniture that your father built. Okay, that's fine. I'm talking more, personal items and pictures especially. Holding on to pictures of people from the past and getting them out and looking at them every once in a while, reminiscing about the past, is not good. It's not good to do. That cut looking fresh, boss. Thank you, Mason. Thank you. Anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone, a new life has begun. That is exactly what I am saying, punk. Even though you're son of the Lamb now, you'll always be punk to me. Let's see. 2 Corinthians 5:17. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old is gone, the new is here. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. And yes, Rose Cottage, exactly that. Should I get rid of a picture of my mom? Sarah, whenever you're ready to, it's probably a good idea, but I'm not going to tell you to do that, okay? Because you might do that and regret that. So you've got enough sadness right now. I don't want to make you any sadder. So I'm going to be very careful what I tell you to do. I'm not going to tell you to do that. You can make that decision on your own when you're ready. Little demons. Yep. Live on the 3rd floor and would need to get rid of a bed, coach. So I've done this now. I got rid of everything I had. I got rid of my yearbook, all my pictures of my parents, pictures of my children, pictures of old friends. I got rid of newspaper clippings, newspapers that I was in. I got rid of, you name it, hard drives that had all the information and pictures and stuff of when I owned my music school. Like, you name it. The past. Oh, I found one more thing. Look at this. This was buried underneath all the stuff over here. This is one of the last things that has to go. It's going in a bag tonight. Thumb drives. Thumb drives with old memories on them. Guess where that's going? This is what I mean about finding more and more and more. Thumb drives going in the trash. Probably right after this live stream, I'll take it over and throw it right in the bag. I got 2 more bags to get rid of. It's not hard for me now. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to throw that in the bag. I'm good to go. I got to start another bag because I filled the last one, so I got to get a new bag out and start another one. I already got 2 bags full, and I thought I had everything gone, but then it went further. Now it's pots and pans and glasses and cups. You name it. Even the old potato masher went. Everything went. And it feels good. Well, learn acoustic then, Elysian Blueprint. Learn acoustic. The old potato masher, yep. Potato masher and carrot peeler. Gone. Gone. The old corkscrew. Gone. Everything. Everything. I used that corkscrew to open up bottles of wine that I got drunk with. So it's gone. That's how fussy I am. Oh, you know what? Here's another item. I need a new mouse. I just see how we just keep finding more stuff. A mouse. I forgot all about this. I've had this for about 3 years. This is old. That got to go. That got to go. That'll go tomorrow. Hey, Dade, good to see you too, buddy. Pretty Marie, I guarantee you, you're going to feel so good when it's all gone and you start over. Just, you got to let it go. Think about the things you did in those clothes and how it was all part of the old you, okay? And you don't want anything to do with the old you anymore. You want the new you only. There you go. Toss it. I'm telling you, it's what a thing I've learned through this process. I can't believe what I've learned about this. If they're really attached to the world, they won't understand it. They won't understand it. Oh, got to get rid of the beer and smokes for sure, Kakaider. That is for sure. Get rid of the beer and the smokes and all the ashtrays, any beer mugs. Oh, I got to tell you this. This is too funny. Okay, now, you know I'm getting rid of everything that I have, like I said. But before I made the decision to get rid of even my dishes, okay, there was one glass in the cupboard that had Amarula. It's a kind of liqueur, okay? It had the logo on the glass. Thank you so much. One more $9. Thank you so much, Jason B. Fishin. Thank you, my buddy. Thank you so much. We will. I got to remember that I can do this. Okay, so I had this one glass left in the cupboard. Okay, there's all these other glasses and cups around it, and one that I missed. Okay, and it's got a kind of liqueur. It's got its logo right on the side of the glass. I knocked something over just a little bit. It fell down, and guess which glass it shattered? It broke that one. It broke that one. Of all the glasses that were in there, there was, I don't know, 30 glasses in there, 30 cups, whatever. This thing fell down and broke that one glass. And I opened and I saw the broken glass. And I'm like, oh, well, look at that. And I picked it up. It's like, oh, it's the only liquor glass I still had. The only one. God made sure that one broke. God made sure that was when it broke. So there's other forces at work all the time. Always other forces at work. God didn't want that one. He would have let me keep the rest of them, but I couldn't keep that one. Okay, Kakaider, give me an example of what you mean by that. Give me an actual example instead of just saying that vague sentence. That doesn't explain what you mean. Spirit who lives in you is greater than the spirit who lives in the world. Right on. Right on. There you go, JBC. Now keep a lighter around because I have a new lighter here. This is adjustment tool number 2. Sometimes you need to adjust certain things. Make sure you have an adjustment tool that looks like this, in case you can't use adjustment tool number 1. Okay? Sometimes you need adjustment tool number 1. Sometimes you need adjustment tool number 2. And sometimes you need adjustment tool number 3. Keep them all nice and close to wherever you hang out, You might need them short notice. You never know. Acid. Okay, well, wear protective clothing if you're going to go for adjustment tool number 4, which he's saying is acid. I don't know why you'd have to use acid. I'm not sure what you'd be adjusting with that. I'm going to stay away from that. I'm going to stick to my first 3. I think they cover just about everything. And he said a sound machine. Uh-oh. She woke up to it being totally burned up. Oh, man. I'm telling you, the company is evil. You should see the commercial that they put out about Hallelujah. I had a rosary around my neck and a lot of things from my past. Wow. Wow. Witches be crazy is right. Okay, well, that I wouldn't say those 2 things are connected, Kakaider. She didn't suffer that because you quit drinking. Okay, that's not the way it works. She did not suffer a bad fate because you quit drinking. Don't connect those 2 things. Make 6 pots at the house. You never know. Now, if that's what you want me to do with that $10, I mean, I could do that if that's what I'm supposed to do with it. I had people give me money and tell me, get YouTube Premium. So I did. That's what I did with it. And I've had people give me money and say, go get treats for the cats. So I did. Jersey City Joe for the pizza fund. So I bought a lot of pizzas because of him. Other people said here, this is for hoodies. So I don't even have to blame myself for all the hoodies. I'm from Canada. Skunky one. Interesting name. Reason why I love my stuff is because they were around me when I didn't have anybody. Anybody. No, I'm crying. See, that space between any and body is really important. Anybody, one word, okay? I didn't have any body. I was just floating around as a spirit. I didn't have a body. It's a totally different meaning if you put that space in there, right? Changes the whole thing. Psalm 23:4, and Bible predicted the date, quoted the verse in his address. Interesting. You were doing something here. Yes, I'm definitely doing something. It Marky Benunce, the effect that this ministry has had on people's actual lives and their viewpoints on stuff is remarkable to me. I'm blown away at what has actually been accomplished here. And I get emails from all over the world telling me really wonderful things, like that people's lives have changed because of these concepts, like purging out of their house and forgiving people. They didn't even think about the need to forgive people and getting this bitterness out of their heart until they watch my videos. And then I do have to just remind you, though, we don't allow emojis here. I really love your comment and appreciate your sentiment, but I have to remove your comments because of the emojis. We have a rule here. We don't allow those. So yeah, guided by God, completely guided by the Lord, this ministry has made a big difference in some lives. And we're very, very happy to see what's been taking place. I'm blown away every day. Sally Ironic. That's a new name. Welcome, Sally Ironic. Smile, Mr. Buzz. I think so. You know, I really do. Sally Ironic. And isn't it ironic, don't you think? Bible that was given to me by my former girlfriend. Uh, hmm. Yeah, probably. Probably. But it's a Bible, so, you know, give that to someone else. That's fine. Give that to someone else. Yeah, you know, it's a Bible. I wouldn't throw it out. I'd give it to someone else. But you shouldn't have it just because it came from your former girlfriend, right? I I'll never forget what I went through because of a jacket, an old winter coat that belonged to my ex-wife, and I wouldn't let go of it for a long time because the only thing I had left that was hers. So I kept that, man. And finally it was God who told me that coat better go tonight. It needs to go immediately. And I just took it and threw it in a bag and put it out in the driveway for waited for garbage day. The minute it went out of this house, I felt so much better. Couldn't believe what that coat was doing to me. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, that's true, Jason. That's true. This stuff will you've got to let it go. You've really got to let it go. It is so important. So important. Get rid of that too. There we go. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but I look like Luke Skywalker. Okay. That's an interesting comment. Tonight was the Satan Claus parade in this town, and here I was walking down the street, and algorithm going. Thank you. Yes, I see all these tow trucks everywhere, towing cars away, and I mean like lots of them. So I'm like, what is that? Took me a bit to figure it out. The parade was coming through, and people had their cars parked in the way. They did a massive sweep, and they towed them all away. I mean, a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of them. That video will show you what I'm talking about. I must saw 15 cars being towed away in a matter of a half hour. It was like one after another, everywhere you looked. Tow trucks. So I made that video, tow trucks for Satan. Because it's the Satan Claus parade was on its way through. And there's another thing that I need to mention here, because I've been seeing it the last few nights. Where did everybody's yeah, exactly. Where did everybody's sense of humor go in the modern day? I've never seen more of a lack of sense of humor in people than I've seen lately. It's unbelievable. You could be just joking and making it like trying to get a laugh, trying to be lighthearted with something, and everybody will take it seriously and literally as if you mean it. It's like, oh, how did everybody lose their sense of humor so badly? I don't get it. Hope you sleep well too, Mandy. Nighty night. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, Kamala, you have a sense of humor. That's true. I know you got to tell them. You got to tell them. You make a joke and they look at you and they're serious and they think you mean it. And it's so obviously a joke. It could be something completely ridiculous that you say that no one would ever take seriously, but they do. It's like you got to look at them and are you kidding me? You just took that seriously? No, no, you couldn't have. If I told you once, I told you twice. Nice. Serenity now. It blows my mind. Some of the things, like even that video I just showed you there, tow trucks for Satan. And I'm trying to be a little bit comedic, obviously. And somebody in the comments to call working class people this. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, gotta lighten up. Gotta lighten up. Well, JBC7, you need to change that because you're going to grow old real fast. Laughing is what keeps you young. Okay. Laughing is what will keep you youthful. When you lose your sense of humor, you got one foot in the grave. Okay. Yeah. I get play guitar for God and give my old guitar to a young man that wants to learn to play. Very nice. So you get to play guitar for God. Like, how are you? What do you mean? You're getting to perform at a church, or I'm guessing that's what you mean. I actually have a really good video to to post. Let's see. No, I got to do this first. Oh, I know why. That's right. No, this one. Okay. Oh, no, go here. Let's go with this one. Yes, it is a wonderful night. Oh, JBC7, you definitely need to laugh a little bit then. Uh-oh, you got bed bugs. That is a spiritual issue. Bed bugs are like cockroaches. They exist to alert you of spiritual problems. Craxiha. Okay, I don't know how to say your name. um, okay, the obvious questions I can ask you. Pictures of Jesus on your walls or anywhere, or even on your devices, or a crucifix, or a rosary, or figurine of Virgin Mary, or pictures of the saints or figurines of the saints, anything like that. Let's start with that. I'm trying to reach Nigeria, but no luck. I don't know what you mean by trying to reach Nigeria. Get rid of both those things immediately and repent for having them. Those are likely the issue. Those are likely the issue. Probably the statue of Mary is the biggest one. That needs to go. Well, not right now, Mitchell Hannon. I'm in the middle of helping somebody with a bedbug infestation, which would be a major priority. Marty, what is it you mean you're trying to reach Nigeria but no luck? You're trying to get to Nigeria or you're trying to contact them somehow? I don't know what you mean by that. And Crazy Ha 2797, we need to probably look into some other things, but that is a good start. Trying to contact them. Okay. You'll have to explain more about why you're trying to contact them, who you're trying to contact, and what you're saying. You're trying to warn somebody of a Muslim attack. Spam call list. Nigeria is a dangerous place for Christians. So I'm thinking it has something to do with that. Okay, but how are you trying to contact them? Do you mean you're. That's what I don't understand. How are you trying to contact them? Favorite movie? Uh, there's a few that really, really made me laugh. There's a couple of funny movies that I really liked. Uh, I don't know. Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton was one of my favorites. Okay, so what about the picture of the angel? If it's your grandmother's statue, there's nothing you can do about it, and it's not going to affect you anyway. But if you got the bed bugs, you're doing something, or you own something, one or the other. Well, Jason be fishing. Somebody else doing something wrong is not your problem. Like you don't have to worry about watching a channel that they're doing something wrong. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, if it's like tarot reading or something, run the other way for sure. But if they got a picture of Jesus, it's not going to do any harm to you. It's going to do harm to them eventually. Yeah, I don't care for movies at all. I haven't watched movies in years. Okay, so somebody was asking for Parable of the Sower. I guess we get a lull for a second with the bedbug situation till the person comes back. Oh, that's too long. I can't read that. No, sorry, I can't read that. That's too long. Take me like 10 full minutes to read that. Okay, I believe it is too because some of your grandmother's doing is not going to affect you. Computer, stop watching anime. Ah, anime. Struggling with lust. Okay. Okay, what else? There's got to be something more. Is it a masturbation thing, or is that the issue? Struggling with lust. Are you still masturbating? Because if you are, that'll do it. That's enough to do it. Okay, so if you're still doing it, that's your problem. That is definitely your problem. Groovy chickens. Okay. Chickens are very groovy, as a matter of fact. Some chickens groove really well. They're, you know, they're brought up to groove. Some chickens are. He quit smoking. He did. I thought I was dying the other night. I said, okay, Father in heaven, I get it. Quit. Praise God, he's faithful. He certainly is. Wanting to go back to my old self and losing joy and happiness. You need to replace the old self with new stuff. Okay, you continue doing your repentance prayer. Yes, you do. But here's the thing. When you give these things up, you need to change your whole life. You need to do new things. You have to fill your time with other stuff. Okay, and you want to fill it with something that points to God. That's people say, how did you give up all those habits you had? You gave up smoking and drinking and doing drugs and watching porn and masturbating and all that stuff because I fill my time with this, right? I fill my time with other things. And everything I do has to do with God. Okay, I'm not, oh, forget to publish that. Everything I do points to God. Okay, now here's an example of what I did today. Okay, I took my phone and a bag of Bibles. I literally left here with a phone and a bag of Bibles, and off I went. Check out that video. You'll see the kind of things I did to fill my time. That's a good video. That one came out nice. I think you'll like that. Check that out. That's Carl. I hope Carl sees it because he was really, he wanted to know the name of the channel so he could watch that tonight. So I hope he's out there and he gets to see it. Yep, I quit everything. I quit drinking, smoking, weed, meth, porn, everything, even swearing, telling dirty jokes, like just being a degenerate. The problem is crazy, crazy, huh? Whatever I call you. The companies are not going to support the flip phones. That's what I did. I got a flip phone and they refused to support it anymore. A month after I got it, they told me I had to get a demon phone or else. So, little girl, hello, sweetie. It's almost time for supper, sweetie. Almost. Yep, watch the cursing. You know, God doesn't like that cursing at all. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it really is. God hates cursing. Prank calling is so much better than watching porn. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yes, little girl. Daddy right here, sweetie. Cursing causes curses. Absolutely. If the gym will keep you away from those things, then definitely. Exercise is good for that. I'm not a fan of gyms because they're sweaty and disgusting. Right on, liberty to captives. Keep on chucking. Keep on chucking it. Yeah, okay. A Nokia dumb phone sounds good. I didn't know you could get one of those. Never heard of them. Yeah, I agree. I don't like gyms because they're sweaty. Proverbs 13:20. Let's see what that is. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Yep. Union. It's been a busy day, a few weeks, lots of traveling in ministry. So, Riki 777, I hope you repented before you did communion. You absolutely must repent before you ever do communion. If you don't, the Lord considers it doing communion in an unworthy manner and will cause you some issues for doing so. Good night, all. God bless. Good night, Kakiter. Comment a lot. Just wanted you to know. Right on, Just Nate. And if you don't mind commenting, sometimes it helps the video get around. So if you ever do feel like commenting, just leave a short one. It helps me out. Appreciate it. Or if you don't feel like it, don't. it's up to you. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know it's you, Senpai Poco. Now I do. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, absolutely. Learning the guitar is the best one possible. No, the problem is, Kamala, it's access to porn right in your pocket. That's the problem with the phone, right? It's access to it all the time. So it's definitely a bad thing for some people. And I'll be right back. Catherine needs help. It's pretty hard for me to recommend any songs now because I've left secular music behind. I don't I don't want to recommend any secular music at all. Salute to you, Bugsy Raider. Song by the Seekers called This Train. The Seekers. That's the band that did Georgie Girl. Yes, I have one. Why Me, Lord? Or is it called Lord Help Me, Jesus? No, it's called Why Me, Lord. That's a good one. 3 chords. Mr. Buzz was gone. What about me being gone? I just went for a minute. I'm back now. What about the Fray? They claim to be Christian. I don't know who the Fray is. Never heard of them. Yeah, Amazing Grace got more than 3 chords. I think Amazing Grace has 4. Lots of people did it. Chris Christopherson did it. Elvis did it. All kinds of people did it. Keith Green. Don't know who Keith Green is. Keith Brooks, that guy, whoever that is. Don't know Keith Brooks. Wow, that's cool. I always think that's God's favorite song is Amazing Grace. Good night there, Kirk. Bed bugs are, I don't know if they can carry them where they go. I'm not sure, but bed bugs are always, almost always, actually, probably always because of disobedience. Yes, anybody wants be part of that group, just email me and let me know. and I will forward it on to Rose. As long as they're tears of joy, that's all good. Wow. Why that keeps doing that, I don't know. Yep. Well, it's always a spiritual sign of something. Why I keep saying curse words randomly? That's because of a demon, Michael. That would be because of a demon. There's a demon that makes people do that. Absolutely. Rich Mullins is definitely good. I know who that is. I would stay away from fast food completely. Have nothing to do with it. Just make fast food not part of your life. There's no necessity for it. One does not need fast food at all. You can just completely do without it. I don't even think we have Chick-fil-A in Canada, Elysian. I don't even think we have it here. So I should be calling you Mason. I know you're Mason. No, fast food is not food. Exactly. Hello again, Daniel Kirk. Yeah, I think bedbugs are always spiritual. Soylent Green. Yep. So it is time to go and feed my furry ones, folks. So I think we're going to call it here for the night. Here we are. Yep. Okay, everyone. You're welcome, Liberty to Captives. Nice to see you here tonight, as always. Hope to see you all again. I hope everyone sleeps well tonight. And I hope everyone is purging. It's the most important thing you'll ever do for your life. Could be this purge. Honestly. It is. Purge, Michael. Get rid of the old. In with the new. Old stuff, get rid of. Get rid of all your old stuff. Get rid of old pictures. Get rid of all your old memories. Get rid of your old clothes that you sinned in. Get rid of all the old stuff. Out with the old, in with the new. That's what we've been doing. Replacing all that old stuff. Or just getting rid of it and not replacing it at all. So I know my stream froze up for a moment there, but right as I was about to end it, it froze up. So no, I am gonna head now to feed my furry ones. They're getting impatient. Catherine, you have to email me. That's all I can tell you. And it's I don't know. I'll have to assess the situation if you're an emergency. Email me. That's all I can tell you. Thank you all. Good night. I will see you in the morning. Remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.